Hey everybody, xFLATTUSMAXIMUs here with another character build for all you who wanted a Templar tank build. This is my own Templar tank. He's a Breton race. He looks like Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead. As you can see on his stats, he's got some good stats. I use the boon with the astronaut for mana regen. Works really well for your tanking bar, which you'll be casting some spells. And lots of spells on your sub bar with your two-handed sword. First off, I'm going to start with your tanking bar. We have Pierce Armor as your main taunt. I use this for Major Breach. Helps a lot with the magic spells that you'll be casting. And also does Major Fracture as well, which helps with any damage that anyone else is going to lay on the monster. Next, we have Mage Guild abilities, which currently right now I don't have all the way leveled up, but I am going to level up all the way to the max. Right now I have Entropy, Structured Entropy. While slotted, gives you max health for those tanks who are needing more health. And it also grants you Major Sorcery for 20% to your spell damage. The passives work really well with everything that you'll use with Structured Entropy, including the Might of the Guild. Casting a non-toggle Mage Guild ability has a 50% of granting Empower, increasing the damage of your next attack by 20% as long as it's activated within 5 seconds. And Entropy is instant, so it just happens. The next move I cast after Entropy is Dark Flare from the Dawn's Wrath abilities. Where, as you can see, conjure a ball of solar energy. Reflects target and nearby enemies with Major Defile, reducing the effectiveness of healing on them by 30% for 7.2 seconds. Also grants you Empower, increasing the damage of your next attack by 20%. So, Structured Entropy grants me Empower within 5 seconds. And if I cast Dark Flare, I have Empower again, so I have an added 40% of Empower added towards Radiant Glory to take out those small mobs. Or I switch to my other bar and I use Purifying Light to give myself a little bit of healing and some damage. As you see on my second bar, I only have one two-handed move, which I would prefer to use a Resto Staff, but I will get to that point later on in the video. So, continuing on, we got the tanking bar. I also have Repentance slotted. This is really only for the slotted effect, and also it can give you healing and stamina back to nearby allies. I enjoy having lots of magic recovery for this build. It's what this Breton works off from. Also great spell, especially in dungeons, because you got a lot of dead bodies everywhere. So next, talking about the ultimate. I chose the ultimate Empowering Sweep from Adric's Spear, because Empowering Sweep not only does a good amount of damage, but it also costs only 75 ultimate points. It's very cheap to cast. And not only that, but it also reduces damage dealt to you by 15% for 8 seconds, plus an additional 4% for each enemy hit. So great move for tanking. And then also, while I have it slotted in my hotbar for tanking, I also get these passives working. And all these passes, all 4 of these passes, work great for tanking. Now I will start to explain my secondary bar, which is mostly buffs and spell damage. I use a two-hander just because I have skill points in this, and I also use the brawler for armor, for extra armor added. My first move I use is Purifying Light. I immediately cast this when I switch to this bar, along with the other abilities that come along after it. Purifying Light, when the effect ends, the pool of sunlight remains attached to the enemy and heals you for the time duration. With these passives also on there for the Dawn's Wrath ability, which helps a lot. Then I have an Adric's Spear ability called Radiant Ward. Surround yourself with a solar shield that absorbs damage equal to 30% of your max health. Each successful hit increases the shield's strength by 5%. Nearby enemies take 701 magic damage when the shield is activated. And that's during the duration of the shield. Next, I cast out from Restoring Light. I use Restoring Focus. Create a rune of celestial protection to gain major resolve and major ward, increasing physical resistance and spell resistance by 4160. If you leave the rune's vicinity, the effect dissipates after 8 seconds. While within the rune, you also gain minor vitality, giving you an 8% bonus to any healing received. So healing you do, healing the healer does, anything. You get 8% extra healing. Also, with all these passives, also help make this move very, very effective. As you can see on my ultimate bar, I also use Remembrance, which also I like this passive. So when I'm really in a tight bind, I can channel the Rite of Passage, which grants me 13,000 armor resistance. Nothing can hurt me, and I heal the entire party from almost dying. Next move I use is Purifying Ritual. Really, this is only just to heal and cleanse 3 harmful effects from myself and allies, and then also giving everyone, including the healer, the chance to synergize and purify, removing harmful effects. Next, like I said, I use two-hander because I have skill points in it, and I use Brawler just to get that extra armor points up. Ideally, I would prefer a Resto Staff, but I haven't worked any points in the Resto Staff yet. But I'll give you a quick view of what I would like to do. Since I only have one weapon ability on this bar, I would like to use Force Siphon. I think it would just add to the extra amount of healing that I do. And then Magicka costs, which I cast Magicka all the time. I never run out. And yeah, and it would really help me with keeping me healed and then also others healed. Even if the healer in the party also has Force Siphon, which, you know, adds more healing to everybody. Well, that was my build. Not really much else to go from, you know, just basics. I have the 2 pieces of light and 5 pieces of heavy. If you're wondering what my set is, I have 5 heavy seducer set to give me more mana regen and mana reduce cost. I also use 4 pieces of Elysia Bulwark just to give me more tankiness. You gotta have all the passives you can get points into. just so you can make this character as effective as possible. Also helps if your champion system rank is about 100. It really adds to what your character can do. I have a lot of added mana regen, also some stamina regen. And then on the apprentice, I carry some spell critical, Elfborn, which works off of your total spell critical percent. So if you have Elfborn high, it increases your damage and healing based off your actual spell critical percent. So ideally you would want to have a high spell critical rating so that you're doing more damage and more healing effectively with Elfborn as one of your champion point. You can see my spell critical rate is only 22%, which is okay for a tank. I'm not really looking to do straight damage, just trying to do a considerable amount of damage while also being very tanky. Next, we got the Steed. I prefer the Steed because it gives you everything you need for tanking. Spell shield, resistance, block expertise, which reduces blocking, and then also these passes, which are great for tanking. I'm really looking forward someday to owning Shield Expert as one of the passives, which is great for tanking, as you can see. Thank you for watching my video. Check us out on Facebook, the Syndicate, ESO, and I will check you guys later. SHAREfactory out.